Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to kind of give you guys an update about how my pregnancy has been going and everything. And today I am actually 28 weeks, which is the start of the third trimester. So I'm actually going to start off with talking about my first trimester. Now the first trimester was honestly the hardest one for me mentally and just like spiritually, I guess you can say. And I explained to you guys, if you guys seen my fear of being pregnant or emetophobia video, then you guys know why. It's because I do have a legit fear of throwing up, which really sucks, especially when you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant, because it doesn't necessarily go away. And it really sucks because obviously everybody knows that more than likely you are going to be nauseous, or you always hear like so many stories of people being nauseous and everything. So the first symptom that I got, that this was even before I knew I was pregnant, and I kind of had a feeling because I've never had a headache like that before, is the migraines or headaches, the pregnancy headaches. Those are so painful because they're like right here, and like literally it's like like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like right there, and it feels different. Definitely does feel different. That's when I kind of started suspecting, because I used to wake up and literally I would feel like the headache right here, and I was like, that's weird, like that's really weird. So I did experience that a lot, and it was to the point that sometimes you just want to lay down and like you literally just have to close your eyes because it hurts so bad and you literally can't do anything about it, like taking medication or anything. Obviously like you can't, but like even that, like it doesn't take it away because it's just like a pregnancy symptom. I also had a lot of heartburn. So like I don't know if I've told you guys before in a different video, but I have like pretty much chronic heartburn or gastritis or GERD or whatever. So it's something that I'm always suffering with, and it really sucks. And it was like even fucking water gave me heartburn, and like that shit is so annoying. So like I had it really bad. And at the time, you know, because when you get pregnant, you don't go see a doctor right away. Like you have to wait till you're, I don't remember if it's 9 weeks or something like that, or 10 weeks, 12 weeks. So you have to wait a certain amount. Like they're not going to take you in if like, let's just say I found out I'm pregnant right now and I'm 4 weeks, like they're not going to take you in for an appointment because you need to be a certain week. So I hadn't seen a doctor or anything, so I wasn't able to like express anything. And also I was not sure if I could take the medication that I had. I just remember like I was sick of it, and it honestly kind of scared me for the rest of the pregnancy, because I was like, okay, if it's already heartburn now, like I imagine later when he's like more up here and like things like that. Like I was just like really scared. But once I started seeing my doctor, I let him know that, and I told him like, hey, I have GERD, or like it's chronic. It's not just like a pregnancy, it's not just a pregnancy heartburn. I let him know that. He actually gave me some prescription medication or whatever for that. So it's something that I take every day, and honestly it has done wonders for me. Like I hardly even have heartburn, like even in general. So it was really it really helped me. So I'm super thankful. I am going into my third trimester, and hopefully let's pray for me that I don't deal with that, because I don't know if it worsens or it's about the same. I don't know, let me know, does it worsen with time? I remember one day, like I was at work and I was just moving around like normal, and then out of nowhere I just felt like a rush of like heat and like dizziness, like, and it was like something that I've never really felt before. And I felt dizzy before because I have fucking anxiety, but it was just like a different type. Like in that moment I was like, oh shit, like maybe I'm pregnant, like maybe I'm pregnant. And I remember I even told my coworker at the time, I told her like, hey, like dude, I just felt like this weird thing, and I don't know, I feel like maybe I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh my god, really? Like I even told my mom, and when I told my mom, she was like, oh my god, yeah, that happened to me too, like that's how I found out. But yeah, another thing that I experienced a lot, which you guys have known, is I was very emotional, stressed out, and anxious because of the whole like nausea and everything. So some people's nausea kicks in right away, other people's it doesn't start till I think like week 13 or something like that. So I remember I would literally like look at those weeks and I'll be like, oh my god, and I was really off. Like I don't know, I just didn't really like picture myself being pregnant and like all that stuff, and I was really doubtful, like if I could do it, if I can't do it. Like it was just like a lot of different emotions, and it was like really hard for me because I would kind of let like my husband know, and like he just thought that like I was not happy, and I'm like, it's not that I'm not happy, it's just like it's like so many different things, and like I'm already getting emotional because like I'm just thinking about like how hard it was for me, like honestly, like mentally. And there was days where I just felt so sad. Like I remember once in the shower I was just crying and crying and crying. I was like, why am I crying? Like, you know, like it's not like it's something bad. But I started watching these videos, and it was more closer to my second trimester, but it was saying that it was actually really normal, that sometimes you could walk around kind of like with a cloud on you, not physically, but you guys know what I mean, like a cloud around you, kind of like just like you being kind of sad, and you don't really know exactly why. And it even says sometimes you don't even know exactly why, but it's just kind of like part of like the hormones and like all these changes that happen, which is honestly really crazy. So yeah, so the first trimester was really hard for me, but once I started taking the pills and like kind of like everything started to kind of like settle more, like okay, I'm pregnant, things like that, and we found out the gender of the baby and everything. In my second trimester I started feeling a little bit better as far as like emotionally, you know, not like really with the nausea. I actually didn't experience any nausea whatsoever. As of today, I have yet to throw up or feel any real nausea. The only thing is like, oh yeah, in my first trimester and the second trimester I had like this really bad like smell under my nose. Like I don't know what it was, but like literally I couldn't smell and stand certain things. Like this room, I was not in here at all my first trimester. Second trimester I started coming in a little bit more, but I was not in here at all because I felt like it had like a weird smell. And I don't know, like not necessarily that it smelled, like my husband and everybody would come in here and they'll be like, it smells normal, but for some reason for me it just smelled really fucking bad. Like I could not stand it, but it didn't make me nauseous or anything. I just could not stand the smell. Headaches did continue, they did roll over, especially kind of like in the beginning of second trimester. The headaches were just like right here, and they were like intense and everything. And then the start of summer kind of started, or like the heat started. I was really like dizzy. Like there was some stuff that where I would just feel like dizzy, and I'll feel like that shift where I'm just like normal, and then I don't know where I just feel like really hot and like I don't know, like bothered. Another thing I have experienced a lot in the second trimester is leg cramps or Charlie horses that hurt like a fucking bitch. Oh my god, such like an intense feeling in your muscle, like you cannot move your leg, and it's so intense. So when I read about that and I heard people talking about that, I'm like, dude, I'm for sure gonna get that. And there was some days that I got it really bad, like literally one leg one day and then the next day the other leg. And it was to the point that it was so sore that like I couldn't even walk right. Like I literally could not walk because it was like super sore because it was so painful. And then another thing I experienced was swollen hands. So like my hand, this one specifically, like because I use this one a lot, I guess, I don't know, is like it's swollen sometimes. It's not like crazy swollen where you can tell, but like it's like kind of swollen and you could just feel the swelling. Like my hand is swelled up, like literally I cannot take my wedding ring finger off like at all. I haven't took it off because it's just really hard. Like you see that? I have swollen ankles, but not really. I wouldn't really say that I'm swollen in that yet, but I have experienced some days where they just feel like a little bit more swollen. But like as far as them looking super swollen, I haven't experienced that. It's just a little uncomfortable though. It's not a big deal, but that is another symptom that I've had. And then I have noticed that I've had hair growth. So as you guys can see, maybe it doesn't look that long to you guys because I actually had cut my hair, but I actually had cut my bangs like up to here, and I fucking hated them. Like it's not that I hated them, it's just I didn't like it. Like I didn't like it. So as of right now, they are like down to here. Obviously they're curled, so they're down to here. So I have noticed that my hair has grown out, so I'm super happy about that because now I just want this front bang to just be like all the way down here. The nails are out of control. Like look at this. This is so ugly, but they just literally don't stop growing. And you know, with the whole COVID and everything, like nothing's open, and I don't know, I'm just kind of lazy to go to like the salons and wait for when it is actually open. Like, so yeah, look at this is really ridiculous. Also notice pigmentation, so change in pigmentation. So I actually got like a little like ingrown hair here somewhere, you see that right here, and it got like pigmentation, and I noticed that I have a lot of pigments. So like my underarms, they're kind of have like a dark pigment in them, which really sucks. Obviously it fucking sucks. And I've just been noticing like dark areas and stuff like that. Like before I didn't have. I don't really like that, but whatever, it is what it is. Also the dark pigmentation on the nipples, so you will see your boobs change. Like now I have like the whole like vein thing right here. I'm not wearing a bra right now either, that's why they're just like whatever. But I have like the veins and all that, and then the nipple is like dark as fuck. I don't have any stretch marks. I did get the pregnancy line though. You get a line or whatever, like that's like a hormone I guess or something, and it goes away after you deliver and everything. But I do have that, which is crazy because I don't know, it's just crazy to see your body change and everything. But as of right now I have no stretch marks, so I'm hoping, but I highly doubt it because I feel like I'm really gonna grow this last trimester, that I don't get any. Hopefully. I'm really shocked that I don't, because I'm kind of prone to stretch marks. I have a lot on my thighs, and then I have a lot on my butt sometimes. And right now I actually started noticing that there is stretch marks that want to form on my butt. Like it's a little bit of like redness on there. We're worried about them because they'll lighten up and whatever. Another thing is I noticed is I've been gaining a lot of weight on my butt. Like literally it's pretty big, it's pretty like full and stuff. So I don't know if that's normal or not, but usually I'm the type of person that when I gain weight, I gain it in my stomach, my thighs, and my butt. That's like literally the first places that I gain it in. I'm surprised I haven't gained too much on my face yet, but I'm pretty sure the last trimester I am, so I don't want to speak too soon. Experience kicking. So my baby started kicking. I don't know exactly when. I would say maybe like at 22 weeks. Yes, he started kicking. And before that, it would just feel like a little flutter. Now it's like a full-on click, like kick. So right now he's literally kicking all the time, which I know he's like super active. That's how I feel, like he's really active and crazy. But he's always kicking like it's crazy, and I don't know, now it's just like really cute because his kicks are a little bit harder, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna get painful later, but he does have a little bit of harder kicks now, which is really cute, and it is really rewarding, and it also makes you feel at ease. I think once you start feeling his kicks and everything, it's kind of when you start developing like this really cute bond with the baby, because I feel like, you know, he's actually real, like, especially because I didn't really have too many symptoms in the first trimester. I always felt like, what if I'm not pregnant? Am I still pregnant? Like, it's just like a lot of questions that you have. But now I feel him, and it's just really reassuring, and it just feels really cute. I'm entering my third trimester right now. Actually, I'm 28 weeks today, and I'm kind of nervous. Everything that I've gone to the doctor and everything has been looking good as far as the baby. He is doing really good, and they're saying that, you know, I'm growing perfectly. My size of my stomach's perfect, everything's proportioned. My anatomy scan, he came out perfect. They said everything looked great. And then all the testing that I did for the genetic screening and things like that, everything looks really good, like nothing but positivity. My blood test, everything. He has no signs of syndrome or any, you know, anything like that. So that's really good. I took my glucose test, I think like 2 weeks ago. It came out negative. Everything's been good. The only thing is, last Friday, I was driving home from work, and I was at a stop sign. I was at a stoplight, and a girl rear-ended me from the back. And when she hit me, you know, like I felt the impact on my stomach and my back, like. And honestly, I kind of got really scared. And I looked at my car, and my car really didn't have any damages, with the exception of just some scratches, like minor scratches, and her car was fucked up. The girl's car was fucked up. She was like really scared, and she was like, I'm so sorry, you're pregnant. And she kind of started freaking out, but I felt fine, but still, like, I was really nervous. And I told my husband, like, we should just go to the doctors and see. So I called my doctor over the phone. They told me to come in because it's considered an injury. I should still come in, and because, you know, obviously I'm 27 weeks pregnant. I got there, they just put me to the emergency room because they have like the monitors and all that stuff. So they actually sent me to the labor and delivery room. I told them what happened and everything. They're like, oh, the baby didn't hit the steering wheel. I'm like, no, nothing hit, like nothing, everything, like, I feel fine. I just want to make sure everything's fine. Like, please just let me know everything's fine. They put the monitor on me. So they, like, at first she was kind of struggling, I don't know if to find the heartbeat or something. So I felt like I was literally gonna fucking pass out because I saw that she was not finding it, and I was just looking at her face like, oh my god. Finally I hear the baby's heartbeat, and it was fine. It sounded like good and everything, really strong, whatever. And she was like, oh yeah, sounds good. The midwife came in and she told me, like, okay, so the baby looks fine, everything looks good. They also did like a thorough out kind of like ultrasound. They got a bunch of pictures, and they told me that the baby looked perfect. So I was really relieved to find out that everything was fine. But when they had the monitor, they noticed that I was having contractions, and that is abnormal, and that's not normal. So she asked me, like, oh, do you feel anything, this and that? And I told her, like, as of right now, I don't feel anything. But I do remember that on Friday, before I left work, before the girl hit me, I was feeling like a really tight, like pulling, stretching type of feeling, and I was kind of like cramping. It was kind of hurting, and like I don't know, I just remember, like, I told my husband, like, once I got off work, I was talking to him on the phone, and I told him, like, oh, I don't feel that good, like, I don't know, I just feel kind of weird, like, I feel kind of weird. So I think at that time is probably when I was experiencing some type of contractions. So I don't think that it started because of the hit, honestly, because like I said, the accident was not huge. It wasn't like a big accident, nothing hit the steering wheel or anything. And then, you know, the following day I didn't even have whiplash or anything. So usually, you know, like, obviously if you've been in an accident, it was kind of hard, you'll have the whiplash. Noticing that I've had that feelings plenty of times before, and it's crazy because I would always ask people, like, hey, do you feel this? Is this normal? And some people would tell me, like, no, it wasn't. So I would message my doctor and tell her, like, hey, is this normal, this and that? And then she would tell me, like, oh, that's normal, cramping's normal, blah blah blah. So, like, I really didn't know what the fuck was going on or what. So, like, pretty much, like, she was like, you have contractions. And I was like, okay. And I was like, is that normal? And she said, no, that's not normal. So then I was like, okay, like, literally I was like, what the fuck? So she's like, okay, so I'm gonna have to do all these tests, like, so I'm gonna have to do a test on you. I'm gonna have to check your pretty much check your vagina, make sure, you know, you're not dilated or anything like that. So she went ahead and, you know, checked me or whatever, and she said that I was dilated 1. So I was like, oh my god, like, what the fuck? Because I'm only, like, you know, I just turned 7 months, like, today I just turned 7 months. So I was like, oh my god, like, what the fuck? So I started, like, really panicking. And, like, the worst part is, like, my husband wasn't even in there. Like, he was in the fucking parking lot because of the whole COVID shit. I FaceTimed him and I told him, like, hey, like, this is what they told me. So he got, like, super worried, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, are you gonna go into labor and stuff? And, like, the doctor had told me, like, okay, we have to keep you here a few hours and monitor you, make sure you don't, like, start contracting more. And I was like, oh my god, like, I got super scared. The test that she did was she actually took, like, a swab of the inside of, I don't know, my uterus or something, I don't know. And she took, like, a swab test, and pretty much that test determines if you're, like, at risk of going into preterm labor within the next 2 weeks. So she told me she was gonna do that test. So they took a swab sample and they took it. Then they also gave me an IV because they said that sometimes that can happen due to dehydration, not drinking enough water, doing too much. Then they took, like, blood samples and stuff like that. So they also gave me a shot to relax my uterus so that it could just relax and it could stop, you know, causing like whatever cramping or whatever. And keep in mind, like my phone pretty much like died at that point, and like I couldn't even talk to my husband or anything. But it was like really cute because like hours later, while I was waiting, the nurse comes in and she was like, oh my god, your husband was so concerned about you that he called up in here and found you. I'm like, really? Like, he did? And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, like, he was so concerned. They're like, yeah, we already told him that you're fine, that everything's okay right now, that nothing's going on, this and that. Because I don't know, I think he thought like that I was going into labor or something. I'm really scared of labor, like to the point that sometimes I can't even sleep because I think sometimes like, fuck, like what did I get myself into? Like, especially because I've never been in the hospital, I've never broken a bone, never nothing like that. So to me, it all seems like super, super scary. So in a way, it's like this kind of like prepared me to just be in there. Like I got the IV, like I got the shot thing here, and I was like kind of really nervous about that because I'm like, that hurts. That's never happened to me. They gave me the shot, and it like honestly everything was not that bad, like because they were there like helping you. Anyways, so then she came back and she told me that my cervix still looks long. So she told me like, just because you're at a 1, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna go into labor. So I don't want you to get scared. She's like, but it's still abnormal for you to be dilated at 1. So she pretty much just told me that I have to just take it easy from here on out. They're not gonna put me on bed rest as of right now, but just because the test came back negative as far as me going to labor for the next 2 weeks. But honestly, it kind of was like a little bit of a wake-up call because, to be honest with you guys, I've felt really great that I don't even like consider the fact that I'm pregnant sometimes, and I'm doing shit that I probably shouldn't be doing, you know, bending over, like cleaning stuff, like things like that. And since it's my first pregnant, I feel so normal, and like honestly I have such like, I just want to do things. Like I have my online store, I need to pack orders, I need to things like that, and I need to like, you know, take pictures, I need to get on the floor and do layouts, like things like that. And you know, I have my freelance and I'm like doing stuff on the computer and then up and down and cleaning, and like there's just so many things. And I think that like I just needed to take a step back because there was a lot of nights that I was like, okay, I'm pushing my body, like I literally feel like I'm pushing my body, and I don't want to like hurt the baby, like, you know, like I had no idea that it was like too much. Like paranoid now, like I don't know, I'm just like really worried. And like I told my work and I asked them like if they could give me a week off, and then maybe next week I can just start coming in like maybe 2 days a week rather than 6 days. I was working 6 days and then, you know, like still doing all my other shit. So like I just feel like it started like catching up to my body. As of right now, I do have an appointment. It's about in about like a week and a half. I am gonna ask the doctor if she could please check me and make sure that I'm not dilated anymore. And just, I don't know, kind of like just like follow through with her and just, I don't know, honestly, like just ask her like if there's any way that she could already put me on disability, just because I don't want to have to worry about anything right now, because I'm literally getting like paranoid as fuck. And like earlier, like I had anxiety, like, and you know, like I already care about my baby so much. Like when I'm pregnant and I'm already here, like I don't want to go into preterm. I just don't want to go into preterm labor or anything. Like I just feel like it's like a mother thing. Like it's like you already like want to protect your baby, and like you're so nervous and everything. And like my husband was actually premature. I think he was born at 6 months. Like literally, like his mom was just turned 6 months and he was born premature. Like, and he was at the, I don't know what it's called, the NICU, they keep in the hospital. Like he was there like 3 months, and like it's like a miracle that he's like the way that he is, like completely normal and everything. And he's like, you know, he's a big tall guy. Like, so, you know, I don't know if it's like genetics, like I don't know, like, but you know, it's just really scary. And besides that, and little symptoms, but I feel like the little symptoms have all been bearable. Like it's nothing crazy, and I feel like my pregnancy has been going smooth so far. So I want to keep it that way by just relaxing. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.